Good evening, students. So, I'll be taking your management paper, and in today's class, we will discuss the basics of management. What is management? Why we need to study management? Managementer features ki hoy? Then how the concept of management came into being. These are the basic things that we'll study in our first class. Okay? So, do you have any idea of what is management? Management word to hunile kiba ata mindole ahe no? So, what do you think about it? Management শব্দটো শুনিলে কি বুলি ভাবা? Just in your own language you can tell me. কি বুলি ভাবা? Management বুলি শব্দটো ক'লে? Okay, management is the process of getting things done by others. Okay? বুজাই ক'ব পাৰিবা নেকি? ঠিকে কৈছা? What you are saying is correct. So management is, if we go to the basic definition of management, it is said that management is the art or the process of getting things done by others. Tar mane management tot ami ki koru? We try to do the things in a proper manner so that the organizational objectives ba goal khini fulfill koribo paro, right? Within the limited capacity of utilizing the resources. Because you see, in an organization ki hoy, the resources, tamne resources buli kole ki buju ami? Land, labor, capital, hoy ne? Machines, these are the factors of production, right? Hoy ne? Resources buli kole ami buju ki the factors of production. Tamne bostu eta produce koribole ama ki lagibo? First, we need a piece of land where we will set up our factory, right? Then we will need men or labor who will do the work. Then we will need what? Capital or money through which we will purchase the goods, we will set up our industry, right? And then the last factor is the what? Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, yes? So entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is the person who will, what? Who will use his own creative ideas to set up a business. So in the organization, the resources are limited, and we have to make the maximum utilization of the limited resources that we have so that the organizational objectives are fulfilled. Bujisa? Management mane ki hoy? We are in the domain of your management, we are trying to get the things through others. Beleg manuhor through di ami kam khini korabo bisarisu. How? In an efficient way. In a what? In an efficient and effective manner, right? So that there is no wastage. Eku dhoroner wastage nohoy, aru we can make the optimum utilization of all the resources that are available in hand. Bujisa? Okay? So in your book, in your textbook, there are around 20 definitions of management. Around 20 definitions are given, but here I will just take up the main or the basic 4 or 5 definitions, and rest I want you to at least go through once at home. Because the subject of management is vast. It is very large subject, and we cannot define it in a single way, right? So different theorists have given different ways of defining management. So the definition which he has said, that management is the art of getting things done by others, right? That definition is given by your Kunj, right? So let us look at the definition or the meaning of management. So the conventional or the traditional definition is getting work done through people or others. Because you see, at an organization ki hoy, bibhinno dhoroner manhu thake, and everyone's way of thinking or way of doing things is not the same. People work in an organization where they have come from different backgrounds. They may be from remote areas, they may be from urban areas, might be brought up in a different lifestyles. But in an organization, everyone have to give up their personal goals and think in a collaborative manner so that the organizational goals are fulfilled, right? So, bore mindset to beleg. And one way of dealing with people can never fit into dealing with all the people. Bujisane? Ekhon organizationot bibhinno dhoroner manhu thake aru sobore way of thinking ba kam korar dhoronto eke nohoy. Everyone has his own way of doing things. Sobe beleg dhorone kam kore, right? So, but in an organization, we have to work as a team, right? That is why this subject or branch of management is important. Bujisa? Karan hiyotok keneke manage koriba, right? If there is any conflict arises in an organization, how will you deal with it? So all these things we will study under this subject, right? So the next definition is your George R. Terry koise je it is a distinct process of planning, organizing, actuating and controlling, which are the basic functions of management. Management is a distinct process consisting of planning, organizing, actuating and controlling, performed to determine and accomplish the objectives by the use of people and resources. So these words are very important because first, in the process of management, we have to plan. Planning mane how we will do the things, right? Keneke ami kam to korim, first we need to have a plan, right? Eta plan koribo laibo. Plan korar pisot, plan mote ki koribo laibo. Planot ami plan to bonalu, but plan to steps bur ami sequentially we have to organize the things, right? Plan korilu. If I ask you to plan what? Plan your timetable or your routine for studying in the evening. How will you do? মই যদি তোমালোকক এটা প্ল্যান বনাবলৈ দিওঁ যে after going home you have to plan your study table, study routine. Then how will you do? First you will consider what? The subjects, right? Ki pohiba, kuntu time ot pohiba, for how many hours? Then what will you do? How will you organize? Jitu subject ot tumalkor besi অলপ weak hoy, hey subject to tumalke besi time diba, hoy ne? In that way you will organize the things, right? Similarly, in management also, after doing the planning, we have to organize it sequentially, right? Sequence mote, ami priority di pale prioritize koribo laibo, kuntu agot hobo, kuntu pisot hobo. In that way, we have to organize it. Organize korar pisot, we have to actuate. Actuate mane we have to apply the things practically. Routine to ami bonalo, routine to bonuar pisot, we have to actually practice it, right? Then the last step is the controlling. Controlling on ami ki koru? The way we have planned it, whether it is functioning or not, the way we have designed the things, whether it is in accordance with that plan or not. Ami sam, whether there is any deviation. Ami jimote plan to bonaisu, hemote kam khini hoise ne nai. If nai hua, jodi nai hua, kyo nai hua, we have to find out the factors and then we have to take corrective measures and that is called your controlling. Bujisa? Buji paisa etialoge jikhini bujaisu. So these are we can say that these are the functions of our management, which is given in the definition of your George R. Terry. Aru koa hoise je we have to use these functions to determine and accomplish the objectives by the use of people and resources. Accomplish mane fulfill kora, mane kam to ami complete kora, right? Next is the definition by Kunj and O'Donnell, who has defined management as the creation and management of an internal environment in an enterprise where individuals work together in groups so that they can perform efficiently and effectively towards the attainment of your group goals, right? So কৈছে যে কুঞ্জ এণ্ড অ' ডনেলে কৈছে যে we have to maintain an internal environment. Internal environment মানে the working environment of an organization, which will consist of what? At a workplace ot কাম কৰিব কাৰণে মানুহৰ এটা ভাল environment এটা লাগে, right? Like what? Any examples of how we can improve the internal environment of an organization? মানুহে যে organizationত কাম কৰে, কেতিয়া কাম কৰি ভাল পাব? If the behavior of the manager or the employer is good towards his colleagues and the subordinates, juniors burar logot behavior bhal hobo lagibo, then the working hours should be good. Jodi moi kom 15 hours kaam koribo lagibo, then the employees obviously they will not be willing to work, right? Then overtime jodi korise tetia hole overtime or karone extra payment dibo lagibo, incentives dibo lagibo, right? So that is the meaning of your internal environment, the factors that will help in creating a good working environment. So hetu koise je management helps us in creation of a good internal environment where individuals can work in groups to perform effectively and efficiently. Effectively mane the word effectiveness tells us that the objectives are fulfilled or attained. Mane jikhini amar goals ase, like profit maximization ba sales to increase koribo lage, right? So hekhini perform hoise, hekhini complete hoy goise, then we will say that effectively hoy goise. But efficiently is within less mane cost kom costot kom homoyot, without wasting the resources. Then we will say that the things are done efficiently. Efficiently mane kom homoyot, kom khorosot aru kom ke jodi resource buru jodi besi mane optimum utilize korisu kintu besi utilize nai kora, right? Bujisa kotha to? So that is your definition by your Kunz and Donnell. Next is the definition given by Peter F. Drucker, who is also known as the father of management. Teo koise je management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and manages managers and manages manager and work. Jitu definition Peter Drucker dise, teo koise ki je management is a multi-purpose organ. Multi-purpose organ mane an kwa Tell, no problem. Tell in any language that you feel comfortable. Multi-purpose organ mane? Ezon ke kwa? Various tasks it performs. Yes. Aru? Work can be? What? Ki kusla kwa? Yeah, various tasks it has to perform together, all together, right? Bibhinno dhoroner functions thake. Hetue hekarne koa hoise je multi-purpose organ. Karon so ami management bulile ami planning o koribo lagibo, organize o koribo lagibo, tar pisot control o koribo lagibo, hoine? We have to look everything, right? A manager has to look into everything. Jeneke supervisors or kaam khini sabo lagibo, ako kiba eta plan eta banabo lagibo, ako decision lobo lagibo, right? He has to do many things, and korba jodi employees or mazot kiba conflict hoise, he have to resolve those conflicts, right? So the task of a manager is varied. He has to do many work, right? Many jobs at the same time. So it is said that management is a multi-purpose organ, right? Belek bibhinno dhoroner kaam ejon manager okole handle koribo lage, right? So management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and managers and also manages manager and work, right? Bujisa? Next, let us look at the levels of management. Levels of management means the hierarchy of the different managers. Tamne stepwise. Soboreto homan job roles bur, job description hok, job roles ba nature of work eken hoy. At a organization that we see there are different levels of bosses or managers. Jikhini top level of managers thake. Hioti ki kore? Hioti policies etc. frame kore, but do they look into each and every details of the lowest level managers or the foreman? No. Hioti okol upot bohi ki sai. Teoloke main kam khini ki koribo. Hioti okol tumar designing or kam khini koribo. Jikhini strategic decisions lobo lagibo, policies banabo lagibo, hekhini koribo. Those managers who are at the topmost level, they will only look into the what? Policy making, strategy making, jikhini strategic decisions main hekhini kam ba dikiba ta bostu designing ideas hekhini upor mane deal koribo. They will not look into each and everything. Those are the CEOs or the directors of the company. Tar pisot thakibo middle level managers. Middle level managers khiniye ki koribo? They will supervise the work of the lowest levels of managers. Major level of managers, they are called as the middle level managers. Jikhini, they will look into the operations, how the work is being done, right? And the lowest level of managers will include the supervisors and the foremen. Jikhini ekdam ground level of kaam kore, right? So there are 3 categories or the types of your managers. Ekdam topmost managers will consist of the what? It will consist of the board of directors, chief executive officers, and the managing directors of the company, right? Middle level managers khiniye ki koribo? They will look into the operations. Okay? Kambur keneke hoise, they will actually look into the operations of the company. And then we have the lower level managers. Okay? Next one, nature of management. Nature of management boli kole, what do we mean? We mean the characteristics or the features of management. Management or nature to kenekwa. So, definition gita jetia ami discuss kori asu, tetia we have come across various words which will give us an idea about the nature of management. Janeke ami koislu je management will help us in fulfillment of the goals or the objectives of the organization, right? So that will give us the idea that management is goal-oriented, tamne, or result-oriented. Tamne management or through we try to fulfill the what? Fulfill the objectives or the whatever is the organization tour jitu main hiator goal ba mission and vision jitu hoy hetu ami fulfill koribole sam, right? Hoy ne jodi eta tumar kapur bonua company hoy, garment making company, what it will be its primary objective? To increase its sales, right? Hoy ne? So that is the objective of a garment manufacturing company, to increase its sales, to what? To increase the exports from the company. Belek dekhole kiman besi production ami kori, basic production kori pale ami export koribo paru, hetue sabo hoy ne? So that is a kind of the what? Objective for that organization, right? So the first nature or the feature of your management is result oriented. Okay, bujisa? The next is human approach. Human approach bulile ami ki buzu se, because in management we try to deal with people. Ami manhuar logot deal koru hoy ne, so that a cordial relationship is built between different people. Hoy ne? Jodi dujon manhuar majot ekhon organizationot anytime conflict hoy thake, so it will obviously hamper their work and the performance, right? So in management we try to bring cooperation among the different employees, and that approach is called as human approach. Human buli kole manhu bujao. So here humane approach. বুজিছা? So we try to, because people know, এনেকুৱা নহয় যে অৰ্গেনাইজেশ্যনত এজন মানুহে অকল monetary benefits or karne kaam kore, right? They also work in an organization because they want a feeling of belongingness to that organization, right? Eta organization at ketiaba tumalke dekhiba je manhok kom poisa dilo kaam kore. Because why? Because they like the working environment. Although poisa to kom paise, but they are feeling happy by working or giving their service to their organization, right? But ketiaba dekhiba besi poisa palo kisuman manhue kisuman organization at happy na thake because the work environment is not very conducive or good, right? So hetui koa hoise je in management we try to seek the cooperation from people and a positive response from people. Bujisa? Everyone? Next, it is process-centric. Process-centric mane, ami management process to ketialoke continue koru. Jetialoke amar goal ba objective to fulfill nohoy. It is not that management is just about managing today and not tomorrow. At an organization, jodi ami dekhu je aji kiba karone employees bur they are having some grievances or they are not having like kiba karone kiba conflict hol, suppose enekwa no hoy je aji conflict hol karone he conflict to hoday ami continue koribo dim tenekwa to no hoy, right? We have to devise some method so that the conflict is resolved, right? So kwa hoise je management is a process which should be continued till the goal or the objective is fulfilled. Bujisa? Enuka noy je aji manage korisu organization to aji profit hoise karone we are all working together. Aji kali porkhi amar kiba karone due to some unforeseen circumstances we are having losses in the company aru hetu karone sob employees bur eri pale gusi goise. Henko that aru tetia hole je management to managers bure kaam mane e sobe bad diu aru company to ami bond kori dim hetu to no hoy no hoy ne. A manager should be able to manage the task at all situations. Okol je bhal situation at manage koribo aru bea kiba jodi hoy company to, because you know business environment is always changing, right? So kiba karone jodi business or loss hobo managers bure sab mane manage nokoru boli hetu no hoy tamne bujisa na. So it is said that the management process is your process centric which will continue towards the till the objectives are your fulfilled, right? Bujisa? It is a continuous process. Bujisa? Next is universal activity. Universal mane it is present everywhere. Management is present everywhere in all fields of our day-to-day life. Janake, you can give some common examples. In what? School. Yes, in school a teacher has to manage the students. She has to plan prepare the daily routine, what she will take, planner jitu koi. Then she has to organize the extracurricular activities. Then she has to do so many tasks. She has to organize parents teachers meeting. So in a school the teachers have to manage the activities of the school, right? Ako tumi saba at home, you see your mother or your sisters, they will do the household task, then they will go and do their duty at office, then again they will come back, cook the dinner. So at home, your mothers or the working ladies, they are managing things. So we can say that management is present everywhere, right? Not only in the business organization, but in other fields of our day-to-day life. Next, we will come to a very important feature, that is whether management is a science or arts. Ki bhaba tumalge? Ki hobo pare? Management science hoy ne arts hoy ne duita hobo pare? Duita. So why? Why? Science or features book in science, what do we study? In science, we study about some theories or the principles, right? Which are universally accepted and they are true under all circumstances, right? And when we experiment them, they will bear the same results, right? Our arts what ki hoy? In arts, what do we study? In arts, we try to apply the skills or the science to practical fields, right? Arts at ami ki koru? Amar jikhini knowledge ba skills ase, we try to practically apply it, right? As a musician, as a ki kore? Nijor jikhini tumar music or skills ase, but their knowledge ase, they actually instrument to bozai pale, perform kori pale, he tries to gather the audience, right? So, ki korise teo? As a musician, he is trying to apply the skills or the knowledge in the practical field, right? So, artsot ami ki koru? We apply the science, right? Or the skills. Our science is the systematic body of knowledge or principles and theories that are true under any circumstances, right? So management of ami science bulim ne arts bulim, hetu we will study in our further science. But as of now, you just know that management is both an arts as well as science because it contains the features of both of them. Laheke ami next slides brot ami sam kyo management ok ami science bulim aru kyo ami arts bulim. Okay? Next is management is a group activity. Because in an organization, a manager will try to handle different groups of people so that they can work collectively or as a team to attain collective goals, right? Next is management is a system of authority. Authority boli dile ki buju ami? That someone is having what? Superior decision-making capacity or the capability, and the subordinates have to follow him. That is called authority. Authority mane someone is trying to what? Hey, authority mane a person who has authority has got certain power in his hands, and the others who are subordinate to him, he have to follow him. Follow koribo lagibo because he is given certain power by way of his job or by way of his position. Nijor positioner karone he authority to ase. Just because he is the director of the company, he is having that what? Power. Aji jodi teo company director nohoy, tetia hole kintu teor authority nathake. Because he is holding a particular position in that job. That is why he is having the authority. Aji ekhon schooler principal jon jetia loge principal ase teor he power khini ase je he or she can take the crucial decisions regarding the students of the school, right? Kintu jetia teo he position post to eri dibo, she will have a respectful life, respect to thakibo, but that authority to nathake. Bujisa? So management is a system of authority. Bujisa? And everyone who are subordinate to one level of manager has to follow, right? Na kobo nwara. Next is management involves decision making, right? Managers bure from the ekdom lowest level of managers have to make simple decisions like repetitive jobs kisumaner decision, but crucial decisions or the strategic decisions are taken by the top or the middle level managers, right? Then management implies good leadership. Okay? A manager has to be also a good leader also. Monot thakibo na bostubur? Then management is a dynamic activity. Dynamic mane, it is changing because the environment is changing. কাৰণ চাবা তোমাৰ গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট পলিচিছবোৰ ডেইলি বদলে হয়নে গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট পলিচিছ ৰিগাৰ্ডিং হোৱাট ৰিগাৰ্ডিং ৱৰ্ক আৱাৰ্ছ ৰিগাৰ্ডিং এংগেজমেণ্ট অফ উইমেন ইজ চেঞ্জিং দেন তোমাৰ আজিকালি নতুন নতুন ৰুলছ আহিছে হাউ উইল ইউ এমপ্লয় ডেট পিপল অফ দ্য ট্ৰেন্সজেণ্ডাৰ কমিউনিটি ৰাইট চ' ইউ কেন নট ডিছক্ৰিমিনেট দেম হয়নে ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যন কেতিয়াও তোমালোকে কৰিব নোৱাৰা দেন ইউ কেন নট like what you cannot employ people based on your what gender bias koribo nwara bostuburot hoine so you cannot use any kind of discriminatory practices and these norms and policies from the government are changing from time to time and there are various social changes that are taking place right because of that we say that management is a dynamic activity mane jetia tumar society change hoy ba governmentor norms bur bodle ba politics at kiba kibi notun change ahe loge business or environment to tumar kaam kora tor tarika bur sob change hobo and consecutively you have to change the way in which a manager has to behave. Next, it is multidisciplinary because management is said to be multidisciplinary because it is derived from many other subjects. Management or jibur theories ase ba concepts bur ase hebur ami bibhinno dhoroner subjects or pra accumulate korisu ba we are taking different theories or different concepts from different subjects like কিছুমান আমি ইকনমিক্সৰ থিওৰি লৈছো বা ইকনমিক্সৰ কিছুমান কনসেপ্ট লৈছো কিছুমান সাইকোলজিৰ কনসেপ্টস লৈছো কিছুমান আমি অৰ্গানাইজেশ্যন বিহেভিয়াৰৰ সাবজেক্টস লৈছো কিছুমান এন্থ্ৰোপলজিৰ আমি লৈছো সো গুটেখিনি মিলাই পালে এটা নতুন ব্ৰাঞ্চ আমি দেখিছো যেটো হলগে ম্যানেজমেন্ট নেক্সট ইট ইজ গোল ওৰিয়েন্টেড or your result oriented clear কিবা ডাউট আছে any doubts online students process centric boli jitu ma koisu je it is a continuous process management is the process where eta process hoy na prothomote ami ki kori management ot prothomote ami plan korim planning ot ko agote aru eta kaam koribo lage hetu holge forecasting boli koy forecasting mane you have to decide in advance তুমি প্ৰথমে প্ল্যান কৰিবা কিন্তু কালি কি হ'ব পৰখি কি হ'ব এক বছৰ পিছত সিচুৱেশনটো কি হ'ব we have to think about that আজি আমি কিবা এটা যদি বনাবলে হয় কালি হে বস্তুটোৰ মাৰ্কেটত ডিমান্ড থাকিব নে নাই whether that যেটো আমি বস্তু বনাবলে বা ম্যানুফ্যাকচাৰ কৰিবলে আমি প্ল্যান কৰিছো হেতুৰ ফিউচাৰলে ডিমান্ড থাকিব নে নাই যদি ডিমান্ড থাকে তেতিয়া বনালেহে আমাৰ লাভ হ'ব হয় নে সো ফাৰ্স্ট we will do forecasting then we will do planning plan কৰাৰ পিছত আমি অৰ্গানাইজ কৰাৰ পিছত আমি কি কৰিম actually we will do the things then kiba jodi amar plan mote nai hua kele nai hua kot drawbacks khini kot ase manu khini ami properly hire korisu ne we will try to find out the factors and we will try to take corrective measures right he karone koise je management is process centric eta digolia process hoy ne bujisa he karone hetu koise je management is process centric bujisa next any more doubts I will give you one simple task because tumalkor exam tumalke jana sake objective type questions ahe so dekha tumalkor kitabor pas faleo saba kisuman multiple choice questions ase tate tumalke saba je definitions kisuman hudha hoy kune koise kitabot eta tumar 20 ta definitions ase almost all are similar but 20 ta definitions moi classot gutei gita bujai thakibole I don't think it is feasible or possible hoy so tumalke ki koriba next class luar agote ekidin homoy paba noy ebar tumalke kunjon manhue ki koise that name of the person and keywords kisuman definitions of keywords bur thake no to porikhat tumalkor ahile keywords khini tumalke jitu main hobdo to kitabot tumalke underline kori loba porikhar agot ebar sai loba tetia at least tumalkor objective type questions at tumalke identify koribo pariba je kune koise kothatu right do that okay tumalkor page number kimanot ase dia ase there are around 20 definitions in page number 170 and 171 eta atake management or definitions kini porhiba পঢ়ি পালে কীৱৰ্ডছখিনি আৰু কোনজন মানুহে কৈছে ইউ জাষ্ট আণ্ডাৰলাইন ইট সপ্তাহত এবাৰ তোমালোকে ৰিডিং মাৰি দিবা পৰীক্ষাৰ আগত ইজিলি তোমালোকে যিকোনো আহিলে ইউ উইল বি এবল টু আইডেণ্টিফাই কাৰণ ডেফিনেশ্যন মেমৰাইজ কৰা পচিবল নহয় বা ইমান মনত ৰাখিও ইমান একো লাভ নহয় বাট এটলিষ্ট কোনে কি কৈছে ইউ শুড বি এবল টু মানে ৰিকল দ্য থিংছ ৱেন ইট কামছ ইন ইয়ৰ এক্সাম ৰাইট তো এইটো কাম তোমালোকে কৰিবা অ'কে Next is your levels of management, jitu moi already kolu. Say managers bur, we can categorize the managers and managers need not be owners. Tamne, at a organization at junbur managers thake, they might be the owners or they might not be the owners. Ownership is different from the management. Because jikhini managers thake, hodai, they might have some stake or share in the company, but it is not always necessary that they will be the owners. Bujisa noy? Bujisa ne kotha to sobe? Mane eta company jar hoy, he have to behave like a manager, no doubt, but he will employ other persons who will have to act as the managers, right? And these managers might not be the owners of the company, right? Bujisa? Next is your management is intangible. Intangible mane which cannot be touched. Management to ami subo paru niki. Nuaru nohoy, but how we know that the performance of the management or the management is efficient? Keneke gom pam? When the performance of the company is good, when the employees are happy, when the productivity increases, right? Hoy ne? Output to jetia ami measure korim ba dekha pam when the sales are increasing then we will know that the management is performing well or the overall working of the business is good right so jetia company to profit hobo ba performance bhal hobo tetia ami gom pam je management is good otherwise management cannot be seen or touched it can be seen because jetia dekhiba je employees are satisfied in the company then we can see whether the working is good or not but touch kori sabo noaru right next is management in management there is obviously a controversy and which is very old because management to amar ki koa hoise je management is the oldest of the art but youngest of science. Bujisa? Management to koa hoise je arts or bahut purona eta mane purona art hoy kintu science hisabe bahut young hoy. Because when we study whether management is a science or whether management is an art then we will come to know. Let's look at it. So management as a science. So science hobole karone kisuman amar features fulfill koribo lagibo. Right? Science hobole karone ami jikono eta bostuk ene ami science boli koi dibo nor. Science hobole karone first we will have to be that first it should have certain features. Our first feature to holge it should have a systematic body of knowledge ba universally accepted principles kisuman thakibo lagibo. Universally accepted principles mane those principles of science should be accepted at mane beleg time ot jodi ami experiment kori sao it will have to bear the same results right bujisa so you see in management also there are certain principles given by your some kisuman theorists ase ba management or gurus ase june kisuman principles disile jene Fayol's 14 principles. Tumalko kitabot nai, but it is necessary to know. I will teach these things in another class. Okay, Fayol's or 14 principles of management boli koa hoy. Jot Fayol boli ejon manhue 14 ta principles disle which are universally accepted. Like one of them is your unity of command. Unity of command mane unit বুলি ক'লে কি বুজো আমি one বুজো unity of command that means in an organization the work which is undertaken is done in the best way when he gets command from a single person মানে এজন যদি supervisor বা বসে order দিয়ে তেতিয়া কামটো বেছি ভালকে হয় এটা ওপৰতটো তোমাৰ এজন জুনিয়ৰ লেভেল মেনেজাৰৰ ওপৰত বহুতবোৰ মানে supervisors বা managers থাকিব কিন্তু তেওঁৰ immediate boss জনৰ পৰা যদি অকল অৰ্ডাৰটো আহে then the work will be done in the best way যদি বহুত কিজন মানুহে এজন মানুহক কামটো এনেকে কৰা ডাইৰেকশন দিয়ে then he will get confused so সেই কথাটোৱে কোৱা হৈছে যে principle of unity of command তাৰ মানে one employee should have only one commander or a boss from whom the instructions will come so science otu teneke kisuman principles thake like science ot kisuman thake nohoy principles scientific principles bur tenekwa tumar management otu ase right next is your experimentation and observation etia swa science ot ami experiment koribole ami how do we undertake the experiments in laboratory কৰো আমি যিবোৰ কন্ডিশনস ফুলফিল কৰিব লাগে যেনে তোমাৰ টেম্পাৰেচাৰ মেইনটেইন কৰিব লাগে প্ৰেছাৰ ইমান হ'ব লাগে মাস ইমান হ'ব লাগে আমি হেখিনি কন্ডিশনস খিনি আমি একদম পারফেক্ট একুৰেট ৰাখি পেলে আমি এক্সপেৰিমেন্ট করতে কৰো রাইট বাট ইন ম্যানেজমেন্ট উইথ whom we are dealing with different people মানুহক আমি হেনেকে ল্যাবৰেটৰীত গৈতো আমি টেস্ট কৰিব নোৱাৰো আজি এজন মানুহৰ মুডটো ভাল আছে কালি এটো মানে একদম আমি we cannot put them under certain conditions and do the experiment on the people like in a laboratory right so etu to condition to amar management at fulfill hua nai right hoy ne management at tumar experimentation and observation is not like in your exact science ot jeneke kora hoy teneke amar management ot amar kora nohoy hekarne ami management to ki boli ko we call management as an inexact science yat science boli kole science direct exact science boli kole direct scientific principles bur jot apply koru tat hekhinik bujai aru management ok ami koisu je management is an inexact science because in management we cannot experiment on the people by putting them under laboratory like conditions like hoy ne beleg manuhe beleg conditions ot beleg dhorone behave kore some people might be liking if they are given some dress code in the organization but sobe janu bhal pabo কিছুমান মানুহ ড্ৰেছ কোড দি দিলে ভাল পাব হিহঁতি কাৰণ কইব ঠিকে আছে দুজোৰ ইউনিফৰ্ম দিছে আমি ডেইলি এজোৰ পিনিম কাপোৰ লেটৰা নহয় বাট এভৰিওয়ান মাইট নট লাইক দ্যাট ৰাইট হয় নে সো উই ক্যানট মেজার ইট লাইক সায়েন্স নেক্সট ইজ your cause and effect relationship principles of science lay down cause and effect relationship between various variables example lack of parity between authority and responsibility will lead to ineffectiveness. This is true in both the cases of your management and science. Science, for every effect, there is a cause. Similar is the case in case of your management. Management jodi tumar authority or responsibility mazot balance na thake, tetia hole ineffectiveness ahibo pare. বুজিছানে এজন মানুহে অথৰিটি যিজন ওপৰৰ বস আছে he have to make certain decisions তেওঁ ডিসিশন দিলে যে তোমালকে কামটো এনেকে কৰা কিন্তু এই মতে কৰা কিন্তু হেমতে কৰাৰ পিছত কোম্পানীটোৰ লছ হলে now he have to bear the responsibility of his decision right হয় নে কিন্তু তেওঁ যদি ৰেসপন্সিবিলিটি নলয় বুলি কৈ দিয়ে কয় কি মইটো এনেকে কৰিছিলো কিন্তু ম্যানেজাৰ্স বুৰে নিজে এনেকে কৰিলে then it will lead to effectiveness bujisa noy authority should always be accompanied by responsibility bujisa noy so there should be a balance between both of them so hetue bujaise je cause and effect relationship next is your test of validity and predictability that means scientific principles bur jeneke amar under all circumstances true hoy. In the same way, the principles of your management should also be are also true under different circumstances. Jene tumar moi jitu koisu principle of your unity of command, hetu tumar sob khetrote hetu correct e hobo hoine, hetu under all circumstances that is true. So this is also true in both the cases. So we can say that management is a science. Bujisa? Go home and study the textbook once. Then you will be able to recall the things more easily. The rest of the things I will continue in my next class. Aru eta bostu tumalok kom boli bhabislu, although it is not there in your book, but in management there are certain theories. Kisuman theories ase besi tan nohoy, although it is not there in your book, just the name and the concept I will teach you in the next class. Okay? Tumalok kitabot nai, jeneke tumar kisuman theories ase, tumar contingency theory, tar pisot tumar scientific management principle, ekhini tumar ki hoy karon objective type questions jodi tumar word to shobda to thake, at least if you have the concept you will be able to identify the answers. So my next class in short I will teach these things, okay, although that is not there in your book. Okay, thank you so much. Any doubt from the online students? Thank you.